shots. Would you like to maybe see him be a little bit more aggressive in his shot selection, perhaps?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like for all our guys to be more aggressive, but he did some good things. I think he can be more aggressive. To answer your question, I also think that all the guys can be more aggressive, and he has been, he's taken the most shots in the first 3 games, so that's a positive because he's not used to, I'm kind of trying to force him to do that, but I thought he did some good things offensively tonight without question. It's a hard game to play. It's a fragmented game. We knew it would be, and certainly for us, you guys may not have thought of this, but for us to play without Frank and Nadir, we didn't practice that way. So for the first half, obviously I think that that didn't get us off to a good start, but it was good that we got some other guys some minutes. And I think it's a good learning experience for our guys, and certainly be a good teaching tape again.
How would you describe the defensive end of the floor tonight?
I wouldn't say very good. It's we obviously foul too much, and fouling negates hustle. So and then we ball watched. I bet you they got of their 21 baskets, which isn't a bad number. I bet you they got 4 baskets on us ball watching from the weak side or whatnot and not reacting very well. So certainly we can improve on some of that.
The refs have a tougher job this year, but are they going a little overboard?
Well, I think some of the things that were called, and I had to watch it on tape because I disagree with several of the calls that even went for us. But I'm not saying the referees have to call the rules. There's no, that's their job. They call the rules. What I would say is there were some things that happened off the ball that didn't have anything to do with anything that was also nitpicky, like balls out of bounds, out of bounds, side out of bounds, high, and the ball's and guy on the weak side block, and he makes a soft cut, and they call foul for holding, and he's not even involved in the play 40 feet from it. Those are the kind of things that to me I don't think is the emphasis, but anything obviously guarding the ball is, and we got to do a better job, but that's an ugly game. I don't see how you can have a pretty game when there's 58 fouls. It's fragmented, and whenever you think you get a little rhythm going, and then it's not. But I bet you watch the tape, if we fouled 27 times, you could probably look back and say, you got to call 22 or 23 of them. So we've got to do a better job of doing the things that the rules require. The bad thing about it is when you keep saying don't foul. It's the most ridiculous. It's kind of an oxymoron. Hey, be aggressive, but don't foul. So naturally, when you say play with your head and your feet, or whatever term you want to say that means don't foul, but you're not saying don't foul, the tendency is to play passive and to play defensively on defense. And we've never been a team like that. We've always been a team that attacked the other people, especially at home. And this team hasn't done that at all. And I don't know if it's the emphasis on the rules, but certainly it's taken away a lot of our aggressiveness.
Bill, have you ever faced a steeper learning curve with all your players, all your young guys?
Yeah, we went to Maui a few years back and couldn't get the ball across half court. We were actually better. We got it across tonight. So, but this is going to be a huge learning curve. It's so simple. And you think you just take things naturally, but when we play Duke on Tuesday, our guys will know all their guys, and their guys will know all our guys. So it's kind of easy on a scout. Okay, Suleiman's going to do this, and Parker's going to do that, Cook's going to do this. When you're playing guys that you're not familiar with, and you got young kids, 33 comes in the game, and he bangs a 3 on Andrew White when he falls asleep. We put Wayne in to guard him, and then Wayne forgets that he just banged a 3 on Andrew White, and he just stands out there and shoots a set shot and makes a shot. So those are the things that I think from a learning curve, we got to pick that stuff up quicker. But they're great kids, but it's going to be interesting for a while till we get the hang of it on exactly what we need to be doing and what our focus should be. And it's not just with our young kids. Perry's young and Jamari's young. How do you have 3 offensive foul calls in 5 minutes? And Andrew's young, so I mean, it's an entire team of youngins, and that is going to be frustrating from time to time, but very rewarding, I hope, in the end.
Can you talk about shooting 50% from the field in both halves and shooting 50% in the first game of the season?
Well, yeah. We did shoot it. We didn't shoot it good though. There were so many foul calls, so we either shot a wide open layup or got one of those, or it was a foul. And that's the same way. I'll bet you across America, shooting percentages are going to go way up the way the game's being called. But that's just my call. But you know, we got a lot of in-tight baskets, so that was a good thing. Yeah.
Frank had the early foul trouble, but how do you think he played overall?
I thought Frank did well. You know, he turns it over a lot in practice, but in games, for whatever reason, he does a better job of taking care of the ball. And you know, he didn't look to score. Frank's very coachable, and he wants to do what's right. But you could just see we were better when he was in the game. There's no question, because we had a speed element that was good. So I'm pleased with Frank. He's got a lot to learn, but I'm pleased with him.
Selden playing point guard for stretches, was that one of those things that you haven't really done much of?
Well, we've done, you know, when you say haven't done much, you know, if we do it 3 minutes a day in practice, that would probably be a lot. So yeah, and Connor too. You know, we want Connor to play the point, but he's really going to be more effective off the ball when we have both Frank and Nadir. So we practiced him at point just to be the backup for this game for the most part. So yeah, those guys are both new to it. But, you know, they did fine, but it was a safe fine. It wasn't a playmaking fine. You know.
Were you surprised you didn't get a T?
I would say that would be an accurate observation. Yeah, probably so.
Do you think that's what finally fired up the crowd and everything?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't do it to fire up the crowd. I did it because I thought it was a bad call. It may not have been a bad call, but I thought it was. But you know, was kind of a dig. It's going to be hard to get the crowd into the game when you stop at every possession. I mean, the crowd's it's going to be hard, and so. And it's not anybody's fault. That's just the way it's going to be across America. Home crowds aren't going to be as homey as what they've been in years past if you got a stoppage every possession.
Joel Embiid sat for a pretty lengthy period. Why did you think that was best for the team?
Well, you know, the first half, that number 0 scored 8 points on him, and it wasn't all his fault, but. You know, we didn't guard him very good, obviously, and you know, it's not an equal opportunity deal. And I thought Tariq was giving us some good minutes, and you know, and you're trying to win the game, and you got your two most experienced players out there that you definitely had tonight. So why not play them together some? So there was no thought process on anything. I actually thought he did pretty good when he went back in.
Coach, how long will it take for the game to find a flow, or will it find a flow the way it's being called now in your mind?
I don't know. I really don't know. By conference play, I think it'll be a lot better. You know, I still haven't. I can't determine if it's good for us or bad for us. I know it's bad to watch, but you know, we do have some depth, whereas a lot of teams don't have as much depth. So, but it's. I still be curious, and Larry, ladies in here, but you know, of the 58 fouls called, how many of them would not have been called last year? And that's the kind of stuff I'd like to figure out, because I think a lot of them would still be called because there was some poor defense being played. But even challenges at the goal, and even challenges, you know, with two guys going after the ball, it seems like to me even those are called closer now than what they have in the past. You know, you can't help but have contact. There's going to be contact, and so yeah, I don't know. I'll bet you this game probably last year would have had 40 fouls called high end as opposed to 58, which would make for much better flow. But I don't know.
Too hard to talk about the challenge of a team like Duke so early in the season with such an inexperienced team.
Yeah, you know, I've got to watch. You know, I think they hung 111 on Davidson tonight. So I could be wrong on that, but somebody told me 111 to 77. So I mean, that's that's a 34-point beatdown against a team that had a lot of the players coming back from when they beat us in the Sprint Center a couple of years ago. So they pressure, and that they're going to get after us, and you got to be able to break people down off the bounce, and you got to be able to obviously get open one pass away. And if you allow their pressure to offset your size, then they win. You know, we've got to be able to neutralize their pressure so we can take advantage of size, and then then we would win that particular battle. So obviously transition defense, and I see it more from a defensive end, and I should. The way we're guarding right now, but it'll be good for our guys to play the game. It really will be. I think although I think we have a pretty good feel who we are right now. That we will have a better feel, just like they'll have a better feel after Tuesday.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Okay, guys.